Author, journalist, and activist Maria Shriver is much more than her marriage to the Governator. But what has she learned in the years since her divorce? Few Americans can boast a political pedigree equal to that of Maria Shriver. She's the daughter of politician Sargent Shriver, who served as the founding director of the Peace Corps, and Eunice Kennedy Shriver, who established the Special Olympics. She's also the niece of late President John F. Kennedy. As she states on her website, "I grew up in a family that was driven to serve. I have always been surrounded by extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. At times, it's been challenging, but more often than not, it's been motivating." Despite a civic legacy inherited from her family, Shriver forged her own path in life by embarking on a career in journalism. Over the years, she has taken on roles as a writer, producer, and eventually anchor at CBS News and NBC News. Throughout, she's traveled the world and interviewed some of the most influential and famous people in history. In 2021, Shriver sat for an interview on The Ed Mylett Show, in which she delved more deeply into her past as a young female journalist.
Women were coming in and you had to wear a power suit and you had to work twice as hard. And if you had a baby, you had to come back in a week.
At one point, Shriver brought up her model for her all-encompassing feminine strength, which she says is,
and be able to celebrate your femininity and your sexuality, but also hold your ground and have boundaries.
Notably, Maria Shriver does not consider journalism her life summit. Instead, she counts her 7 years as First Lady of California as the role of a lifetime. This role came courtesy of Arnold Schwarzenegger, actor turned governor. The couple got married in 1986 and raised 4 children. Shriver's picture-perfect marriage erupted after 25 years, however, following Schwarzenegger's recognition of his 25-year-old son, Joseph Baena. The mother of this child, the family's housekeeper, Mildred Baena. In her interview with Mylett, Shriver shared the many insights she had gained as a result of her divorce. She noted that, while it's natural for our beliefs to evolve based on our life experiences, growing up in a political family means you're often penalized for changing your mind. This apparently is the crux of her current work, and she now writes about many of the things she was wrong about. In particular, Shriver has changed her mind about what her life should look like following her and Schwarzenegger's relationship and divorce.
I never believed I'd be sitting here single at my age. I would have thought that that was like, what's up with that girl, that she's single?
Shriver explained during her interview with Ed Mylett that facing her trials and tribulations meant she had to evolve from her old views too. Once, she had even considered divorce a sin. The award-winning author's divorce from Schwarzenegger was finalized in 2021 after more than 10 long years. Although the divorce process was relatively quiet and scandal-free, the former First Lady of California didn't sit around for long before taking up her passions once more. She authored a book in 2018 titled I've Been Thinking: Reflections, Prayers, and Meditations for a Meaningful Life, which turned out to be a bestseller, and also found her way back to journalism as an anchor with NBC. She has also proved herself a strong voice in the fight for women's rights, tackling important issues like abortion law. In 2017, Shriver was bestowed a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Alzheimer's Association for her work in raising awareness for and movement against Alzheimer's. Not only is Maria Shriver a powerful advocate for important issues, but she's also an inspiration for people who won't allow negative experiences to define their lives.